Okay, welcome back to Physical Science Online Edition. Today we are going through the Station Lab, Changes in Matter, or Physical versus Chemical Changes Lab. It's the one that looks a lot like this. It's got some stuff for you. Today you're going to be writing down your data, observations. Oops, sorry. I'll do the autofocus. There it is. Your data or observations based on what I do. The vocabulary words already filled in for you. Then you're going to make a claim about if you think it's physical or chemical or both. And then what evidence you use to help you decide that. So that's our main goal today, is for each of these stations, we're looking to see if it's physical or chemical change that's happening. And we're going to use these stations to go through it. Normally this would be one that's a little bit more fun to do in person, but we're in COVID time, so we're going to do what we can. First station says to use a match to light a candle and watch the wax strip. It doesn't matter what kind of candle I end up using. Let's go with this one. It's kind of funny in class to watch how many students struggle to light a match. It's like we haven't done that before. Maybe that's you, maybe it's not. But either way, Mr. Wilson's good at fire, so we'll have no problems there. So maybe you've dealt with a candle before. Maybe you haven't. Candle heats up. Some wax starts to melt because wax is solid at room temperature, but as you add heat to it, it melts. Sorry. And then if we can kind of get that to drip out, or maybe that won't even work very well. I'll light my other candle. Using a candle to light a candle. My little one didn't work very well. So this big one will get going in a hurry. And I'm dripping some wax onto my paper towel. Those little droplets are liquid wax. That's dropping onto my paper towel. Now I'll blow up my candle. And one of the cool things here is if I give it just a second, that liquid wax is now cooled back down and it is a solid again. Got a little bit on my finger yet. That wasn't quite as solid. So there you go. There is melting. Melting, it is still wax. So there's your big piece of evidence. It is still wax. Use that evidence to determine if it's physical or chemical change. I'll just go in order here. I'll turn on my fire. Station number 2 asks you to use the Bunsen burner to light some steel wool on fire. So you'd get to use the Bunsen burner normally. Let's see here. I'm not as good with the flint striker as I am with the matches, apparently. I'll just switch over to a match. Always light a Bunsen burner from below if you are using the match method. That way you don't start anything unnecessary on fire. We have Bunsen burner, and I think I have my tongs over here. Tongs for safety. And you get a piece of steel wool. Maybe you've seen this trick before, maybe you haven't. When you put steel wool into the fire, steel wool is made of steel. It's made of metal. Yet it does some crazy stuff. It actually, the lights keep going. Turn off my fire here even. And it looks like it's on fire. That's because it is. As Mr. Wilson starts a fire across the room, that's okay. We got water over here. You can tell during this lab there's a lot of fire that goes on, and when I'm trying to do the enclosed spaces, it's not as safe. So I actually had a small fire going on. I called my teacher over, and he dealt with it. Put it out. The cool thing with the steel wool here, now that we're out of fire mode, is that it's still going, and it's changing color. You got a new color. It actually looks different. Kind of hard to see on camera, I know. But there's a difference between where that isn't burnt and where it is. It gave off a lot of heat and light. So there's your evidence for the steel wool. By the way, other than just being safety officer, I do have my safety glasses on too. So even though there was a little fire, we're good to go. And we'll keep going on the stations in the next video.